One more month has come and gone. That means a whole another sketchbook for the month of July 2017 is done. And let's get right into it. I think I showed this off at the the end of last month, but this is the start. 70117. This lady in the back of this truck. Getting the dimensions of this, and then going back in that body a little bit more, seeing the dimensions, proportions, whatever. This is actually my self-portrait I did for the month, but also done for the Life in Space anthology. I think this is probably my favorite self-portrait I've done ever. I just really like how it came together. Me putting up my ox horns with my top knot just came together awesome. This was a really fun piece to do. It's from the 5th season of Samurai Jack. I really love all the contrast, trying to get all those different colors with just 2 different pencils. Cross hatching, none, this red to fill in, but like there's such rich color, just different looks of that whole scene, and like I love that that's in this sketchbook, because I have been looking back on that and like just seeing how striking contrast that is. I think I nailed it with the different proportions. Then you have this, one of my friends with her comic books spread out. Kind of started with the proportions, kind of messed that up, and then the third shot really nailed it home. Getting these comic books dimensions a little bit better. Then you have this focus study from Blood Drive. They have a character Slink in there. He wears a top hat. You have this scene of him coming down the stairs to pick up his hat. I kind of wanted to get detail on his shoes and those stairs a little bit more, so put that back behind the main picture. This I had a ton of fun doing. First started out with this one. I really liked how that happened, but I wanted to get some more details, so I kind of did like a skeleton picture showing how the hand went behind the mic, and then the third shot kind of really refined it as best I could. I think there's little bits and pieces of each drawing that I really do enjoy, but yeah, those hand studies are becoming probably my favorite part of doing these sketchbooks. Then you have this 753 code for a samurai. I really love the concept of the samurai. Obviously, my online persona is Samurai Ox. But getting this armor design down for the samurais used to use, this different layered approach, really nailing that shell for the helmet, the demon mask. But basically the 753 code is 7 virtues of a warrior, 5 keys to health, and then 3 states of mind. If you want to see more of that, just pause the video and check those out. Moving along, you have this scene, Makani Terror again. I think I'm going to try and do one of her at least every month, just so I have different sketches from each month, so I can go back and track progress of how better I'm getting using one reference. I think I'm doing this for a few different people. Makani is definitely one of those. I think CBG 19 is one of them as well. And then of course you'll have my self-portrait. Basically getting the gesture pose down. I really like how this came together. It's probably the closest the car looks. Kind of trying to detail out the car. And then I just took her down here. Got a rough outline of her. Kind of put dimensions in. I like how that turned out, but then I came down and did her face. I still like it, but it just, I think with the car being mismatched with her, it kind of just drives me up the wall looking at it, but I still definitely love the gesture pose and then her outlined. Then you have a couple different shots done on the same day. Basically the Crow. It's a on the street race car. The dude just basically races it on the street. I have this side profile and then like an almost downward angle where they have it parked next to the trailer. I think it took me 20 minutes just to basically knock them both out. This is probably one of my more days I like. Just this random graffiti. It says "Fish don't know outer space exists." Just this random location with this graffiti. I don't know, something about that whole picture just I enjoy looking at. I was going to do a couple different takes of it, but I mean, I kind of just hammered away at it until it looked to the point where I really enjoyed it. Then the next day, coming down here to doing Godzilla's roar, I was kind of just detailing out the face, doing like a cubism and putting the shapes together, trying to figure out to detail it better, and then the third attempt coming down and actually knocking it out. Like, I just love looking at that progression of Godzilla. Also, right next to that graffiti of "The fish don't know outer space exists" is perfect. Then you have a couple of these figure studies I did where it comes down to the red and the blue in the face, and it kind of muddies it up quite a bit. Trying to get her torn apart shirt correct. But I really like this first like stab at the picture with no facial features defined, but like all the little stuff in the background like kind of brought to light a little bit better. Then you have this car. It was my buddy's Firebird. I was hauling it across the country for him with my van. You see that in the front. This is the first shot I tried doing it with it. Took my time a little bit more with this second time. I think I really got a lot closer with that second attempt. Kind of tried making both of them a little bit better. I don't know which one I like better, but I like things of them both. Like I was saying, when it gets the red and the blue in the face, kind of really muddies it up. Kind of not, I don't like it, but at the same time, I can see my facial features and my portraits are getting better, so day by day. Once again, I really like this first shot of like almost a little bit better than a gesture pose. Just kind of getting dimensions for the whole shot. Then you have this geisha, and there are things that I like really hate about it. You can see where I started with this red line and then came down and like really did her proportions with the hands. Those hands, I really like how they look. I really like her hair back here on this one, and then her pursing lips, but like that heart kind of lipstick in the middle of her lips that like defines them even more. I really like this little like trying to get the dimensions quick sketch that I do first. The next day, do a couple rat rod throw togethers, trying to get proportions of these different shots of these cars. I really love this 57 Chevy, or actually the Nomad cut apart. Like, it's just the epitome of a rat rod. Up here you have this little Galaxy, I think it was. But just cool little designs. Another geisha figure study. I figured I'd throw that in the mix just because I was trying to get this kimono, like how it lays on a person. You can see that I did kind of a gesture study underneath. Once again, get to the face, and it's that red and blue, and kind of muddies it up. So, but really like how the hands turned out. This is Friend holding on to my comic. Like, I really like how this started out. This little quick. I think her portrait turned out pretty good, but once again, it's that red and blue that kind of are battling with each other. Another shot of Makani Terror. I think I did this one first. Little general gesture pose. Went back, did her face a little bit better, and then just did a kind of a gesture pose up here. I really like how this turned out. alright with this. Once again, the red and the blue in the face kind of muddies it up. So, going back to what I said, CBG 19 is going to be these studies. This is probably the closest I've gotten so far. It keeps getting better, but I really like this quick sketch to start off with the dimensions. How that turned out with her, how she's holding the camera. Some location studies, this like high ceiling cathedral almost looking things. For this quick study, I threw in the chairs and stuff to see the dimensions of how big this thing really is. Then just kind of grasping, trying to figure out where the columns go, like the different levels of the balcony and whatnot. Another portrait study. I think once it gets to this red and blue, muddies it up again, but like I tried fixing this one, but it just wasn't working so well. I mean, I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. So then you have this kind of demon-y design from Jessica Negri and Barbara Dunkelman. I think I did Barbara Dunkelman a couple months ago with this whole horned cosplay. I really like just this quick sketch of them. I think once it gets to the red and blue again, that it kind of just gets too muddy. I did a 3 different shot for this day. This little Chevette. I saw the pictures of it online, and it looks so mean for being what a Chevette is. If I saw it in the streets, I would not think it would have that power, but I would also be very surprised when it blew anything out of the water that challenged it. So I really dug that design of that. So another car study, this little truck didn't have a hood on it, had this huge motor in it. Was going to redefine the engine, didn't like how that was looking, so I went back and redid lines, and then you can see where I'm working on making it smaller as it gets further away. Over here you can see the red line where it started out, and it was basically the same size on the far side. So just kind of trying to refine those lines and make them work a little bit better. You have this balcony study from this abandoned theater. This is probably going to come into play later. There's a reason it's in the sketchbook. That's all I'm going to say. I like the proportions, like showing the whole different angles of this building. These 4 rows of seating from the balcony. Like these little details that like you can pick up on. This is probably my favorite piece from the sketchbook this month. When I hit it with the blue pencil, I was trying to refine lines and everything, make it look a lot better. And then I was like, you know what, I really want to do a hand study real quick, just blue lined on the guitar, and I think that's probably one of the more striking images from this month for sure. Then you have this figure study, another artist friend. Her dress has wings that like hold the dress up, and I just thought it was really cool. I really like this design, like this quick gesture study. I like the wrinkles on the fabrics over here, but like overall it's not as good as I was hoping it could be. But I think that's kind of just that it was lacking in the caring about this. So you have this a couple more location designs. These stairs going up, you can see the spiral staircase in the back. Underneath this balcony, there's area over here, but these are like windows boarded up and everything. Down here you have this like grand entranceway, and you have stairs leading up that like kind of lead off into the nowhere, and then you have balconies up here. I just really love the design of it, and like it really is that grand entrance that I want to show off. Finally, last one of the month is Kato Punk. She did a mohawk design like for some modeling picture. There's a lot less red in the face, so I really like how it looks because the blue isn't taking away from all that detail, but like I got her ripped kind of top done a lot better. I don't know. I wish I would have taken a little bit more time with it, but I think it was starting to fall apart, and before it became muddy, I just called it good. So that is that for this. Going on to next month, we're doing it all in blue. If you're Jan, you know that picture because you used it for reference and you got a hold of me on the first, and I was like, you know what, I'll do that for my first of the month study in this hand study. I think I made this side just a little bit better. I'm sure I'll see that, but that's a taste of next month. We're doing it all in blue, so to kind of save from that muddying of the water. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you next month. Videos should be returning here soon, as I'm working on issue 8 a little bit more, so we'll catch you in a bit.